Hello. Decided to do a card pull, and somebody I follow on Instagram. It's at the Trap Witch, all one word. Um, I just love all her posts, everything that she talks about, and her the one I just saw is about how she was a sex worker for 5 years until she became a full-time spiritual guide, basically. Um, and what she mentions in there is that just because somebody's married doesn't make them more moral or a better person or give them more of a ability to speak or say anything or give them more credibility. I think I said that right. But that was one thing that I wanted to talk about after doing my little life story little videos, was that when I was married, like, or I felt like I needed to get married, right, in order to be like valid in society. Um, which is why I got married twice, I think, because it was like, no, you can't be alone, or you can't survive either. It's hard to survive. And the Trap Witch mentioned that too, like, um, how many people are actually out there in relationships giving up the ass for free, be free basically, or in exchange for like a place to stay or security, you know. I can definitely relate to that too. That's why I think it took me a long time to leave my last um, relationship where I was living with somebody, because it was like, how in the hell am I gonna make it on my own, right? Especially here in Hawaii. But luckily, I got that that final straw. I was just like, how long are you gonna take feeding and being told that you're nothing and that you mean nothing in the world, being degraded and like all that, because I wasn't conforming to how uh, to doing what he wanted me to do or what society says is appropriate for me to do, which is work a 9 to 5 job, get the highest degree I can, and take care of my kids and everything else. It was like, okay, that totally does not vibe with me at all, because I'm more of a like free spirit. I need to rest, take naps. But anyway, I didn't even get that way until like the past year or so. But yeah, thinking about how in our society right now, like how she was saying, if you're a sex worker, like it makes you like lower on the societal pole, so you don't have as much say. Um, and that really hit a chord with me too, because there are many times in my life when I was like, yeah, who the hell am I? I'm nobody. I'm not doing anything in society that's worth anything and all this kind of crap, right? But it wasn't. I didn't start like advocating for things and testifying in government places and whatever because I was married or because I felt I was somebody. It was just like, this is wrong or whatever. I don't agree with this development or whatever, and I voiced myself. I made myself known and present, and and to see change happen when we get together, right? When there's a community around a push, then things happen. So that gave me the ability to like have self worth, and that I mattered, my voice mattered, and everything. So saying that people who are like not in the mainstream of doing stuff, like I said, 9 to 5 jobs and like all this kind of crap, is like, it doesn't take a lot to be a follower, really, if you think about it. Look at where we come right now. Like, we've trained children to just sit down, be quiet, and listen and take in freaking information and spit it back out, but not really have imagination, innovation, even to think that you could be an entrepreneur or like be your own boss and all this kind of stuff. Like, we don't, that's not really a priority in mainstream thought and schooling, right? So yeah, I think there was a lot more I wanted to say about that, but that was the main stuff. That those days of, or it's in a patriarchal system, right? Because men have, well, that I will say the masculine energy is always like trying to say that the feminine is weaker, or the feminine is like wild and can't be tamed, so it can't be trusted and all this kind of stuff. But um, one thing that I learned doing oracle cards is that there is dark and light in everything. There is feminine and masculine in everything. And to keep oppressing, suppressing the feminine is only going to cause an imbalance, and then it has to manifest in another way, right? So the way I see it is that for thousands of years now, the feminine has been suppressed and seen as less than, and not given reverence at all or respect. But what comes with the feminine is also, like we say, pull in Hawaiian, right? It's the darkness. But we've been like trained, or like told that the darkness is evil, and it's, you know, well, this and that. But you wouldn't have light without dark. It needs each other. And in order to see light, there needs to be darkness, right? If there's just light in light, like you wouldn't be able to distinguish. So thinking about that, like for us to remember to not to embrace the dark within ourselves, to look at it and feel through it, and hopefully heal through it, so that we don't judge ourselves, because when we judge ourselves, then we judge others, right? Okay, I think that's all I want to say about that. So here's the card. This is from the Divine Feminine Oracle cards. They're freaking amazing. So we got Kali. I don't know if anybody else knows about Kali, but it says, the mother of the universe, I release all that doesn't serve me. It's time to be the truth of who I am. So Kali embodies the ultimate wake-up call to get us aligned as soon as possible with what we have come here to do. This Hindu goddess is the most fierce form of the dark divine feminine. She is that which brings all things to life or to an end. In her name comes her name comes from the Sanskrit word meaning the fullness of time. Kali is first mentioned in the 6th century Devi Mahatmyam, when the goddess Durga is threatened by 2 demons. Kali emerges from the rage furrowed in Durga's forehead and slays all the demons with ease. This is why she is often pictured holding the severed head of a demon, which represents the ego or false beliefs and illusions. She appears wrathful, and yet she is considered to be the most loving. She's like a mother desperate to grab her beloved child from out of harm's way, willing to yank them from the path that they are on in order to bestow freedom. Her iconography often depicts her as standing on the naked body of the Hindu god Shiva. He is her consort, and together they represent the power available to us when we've honored both the masculine and the feminine within us. And Kali is the feminine that's called on when the masculine has gone out of balance within us and in the world. She's the divine protectress and the mother of the universe because she can cut through illusion and grant us the reality our soul came to manifest. When your soul selects this card, Kali is as subtle as a sledgehammer. She slows up to strip us of what no longer serves us, and that sounds good in theory, but in practice it can feel as if the ground beneath us has turned to sand. All those illusions about ourselves, especially what we think we're capable of, suddenly dissolve beneath us. When Kali sweeps in, we can easily slip into feeling like a victim. It can feel as though events are happening to us rather than for us. Kali doesn't want us to waste another precious second being someone we are not. She doesn't want us to be with a partner who doesn't treat us with the respect and love we need to do the light work we've come here to do. Kali wants to sever the ties our ego has made out of fear or out of a false belief that we don't deserve better or more. She wants us to get terrifyingly real. She wants us to reckon with the fact that we are not here to please others to make them proud. We are not here to please others or to make them proud. We are here to listen to the singular call of our own soul. Kali is the harbinger of having entered Kairos, or soul time. And stripping the ego to reveal the soul can feel raw and often heartbreaking. But ultimately, Kali has come out of fierce love for the truth of who we really are. She is giving us the opportunity to choose again, to start over, and this time from a place of tremendous wisdom and strength, our vulnerability. She lets us begin again from the bare bones truth of who we are. The soul voice meditation for this card. What is falling away from my life right now that no longer serves me? And the intention. I release all that doesn't serve me. It's time to be the truth of who I am. So that's another thing about like what people call dark, right? Is like it's something negative, or it's also something like hard. It hurts, and it's like I was saying in the other videos, like it's the breaking of things that bring in more light, right? It's the letting go of the things that bring in other things that will build us up. I am not saying this because I am a master at this. I'm absolutely not. I struggle with this probably every second of the day, but I just like sharing because to let everyone know that you're not alone. We're all walking each other home, and yeah, I thought it was an interesting synchronicity that the trap witch was talking about. Yeah, law of polarity and releasing attachment. The trap witch was talking about how she was a sex worker for 5 years, and that people like try to shame that, right, and make it seem like it's such a bad thing, and oh, you're such a worthless woman and all this kind of shit, when in reality, or for some people, it gives them a sense of empowerment. It gives them a way of being an entrepreneur. This is what she said it helped her with, and doing like strong boundaries and really knowing who you are as a person. So our life paths, right, like we don't have the same damn paths. We're all different damn people. So if we could stop like trying to push the same mold onto every person, like every person is different, every person has different wants, needs, desires, and if we could not judge others for being different, to not feel like we have to impose our uncomfortableness of what they're doing onto them or to other people doing the same thing or whatever. That was really, really powerful because I used to work for the sex abuse treatment program at Child and Family Service. So I would see, or I went to a convention about sex workers, and there were some who were like pro and some who were like saying it's leads into other things, and none of them are wrong. It's just that it's all different points of perception, right? Some people are going to be able to make a living doing that, and why are we going to say it's not okay? Like it's been happening since the beginning of it's what is it called? God, not citizenship. You know what I mean? But like it's the oldest profession since what, midwifery. All women centered. Notice. So yeah, I urge you guys to like check out the Trap Witch. It's all one word, all lowercase. Her stuff is just really amazing that she pushes out, and it made me want to come on and talk about the different ways that women have been told we're not valued because of the things that we do that are not supportive of the mainstream patriarchal things. So like I was saying, working a 9-to-5 job, and then having to be married and having to have kids and to run the whole household, and if you're not doing that, then you're like less than, or you're just trash and all this. This is stuff that I've been told. Don't you have any self-worth and all this kind of stuff? And it's like, just because my viewpoint and my feeling like I'd rather work for nonprofit agencies and do birth work, which is highly kind of connected to sex work, right? It's like not any less valued. It shouldn't be any less valued in the world, because we're all different and we each have offer something different. And if it's sex work that helps somebody elevate to the next level, then so be it. Or if they want to stay there and that makes them happy, so be it. I mean, we really, especially in this time, like I keep saying, everything's crashing down and changing. We have to be open to other ways of being, other ways of living, other ways of being with each other, understanding each other, and supporting each other, because that's the only way we're gonna make it through, right? So I had pulled a Kali card, and it was talking about the dark divine feminine and how Kali like makes us release anything that no longer serves us. So seeing darkness or like sadness or pain not always as like a negative thing, but something that helps us get to our next level. Hope that helps, and thanks for watching. Have a good day. Love y'all.